Hey guys, happy Tuesday, May 16th. We're here for the oh yeah. Here, let me get this in here.
I know this is a little short for me.
It's a long day. Long day yesterday. It's always funny when Angie jumps in. She's like, "Good afternoon, Vic, Tabby, Lizzie." Not Tabby, but Tabitha.
Some people do call her Tabby.
Tabby. That's like a cat.
It is.
I
have a tabby.
Wasn't there a cat? Yeah, Tabby
yes,
cat.
Yeah, I have a tab. They're like orangish, kind of. Yeah.
Tab's kind of like a cat. And I love cats. I do. Anyway, welcome to the show before the show. This is Cancel This. Just putting some other touches on this show as we get set this morning.
Did you see this that we just got?
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Well, the only problem with that is you don't know if somebody put that on there.
Right. If it was screenshotted or not.
Tab just sent us something. By the way, Tabitha will not be in today. She's got an important work meeting with her Disney folks. So they're in town. So she works in the movie industry, security company, anti-piracy. So they're coming in today. So unfortunately, they moved her meeting from 11 to 9 o'clock. Angie says, "Vic, you sound so drained." I am drained, and
it was quite a day.
And it's not just because there's just a lot going on. So anyway, yeah, we'll pick up the energy here. Oh yeah, I had a coffee this morning. I forgot. I was like, did I have a coffee?
Did you have a coffee?
Yeah, I did. Maybe I need to go get another one.
You probably do.
So anyway, what were we just talking about?
Well, we were talking about the text that we got, but we didn't know if that was real. And then everything that we did yesterday was a hoot. That was fun yesterday.
Yes. And as we talk about that, we say good morning, Kim, Angie, Karen, Facebook users. We're grateful as you jump in for our show before the show. We'll talk more about it. We have some pictures, a little video that Alex with Raising Sales put together, marketing video. So we were out there yesterday.
For probably 15 hours? It was a long time. Got there really early, and then
I was there 7:40. Left right before 6? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a long day.
Long day.
Anyway, that's fine. Okay, so anyway, we did the golf tournament yesterday for Complete Auto Body and Repair. Just a terrific golf tournament. Like 288 golfers. It was massive. Listener Joel joined your husband for the Cancel This team.
Yes.
With
and
Kevin.
Tell them how good they did.
I wish I could remember. Oh, is it Kevin Hill, right?
Yes.
Kevin
Hill.
We've got a picture. We'll show the team. The team ended up getting tied for 4th.
Yes.
Which was great out of 34 teams.
I think so. Yeah.
34 teams that played the South Course. And we were on the 9th hole. We met so many good people yesterday.
There were some really great, fun people, a lot who hadn't heard the show and a lot that had.
Yeah, my favorite was the guy that you said, "I know about you guys."
Yeah, he did. I don't know if I should say the whole thing.
Of course you should.
Okay, so
tell it what it is.
Okay, so this guy comes up and he points to Vic and he goes, "I know you guys." And he basically said, "I know what Vic did." And he goes, "And you're the almond girl." And I'm like, "Oh, I've never been called the almond girl." And he goes, "Well, you know what I meant, that you used to work with Jamie Almond." And I'm like, that is true. But he didn't go any farther about what Vic did, but I knew he knew what you did.
He was really nice to me, though, when I talked to him.
Well, he was very nice because he said, "I'm not watching you guys." That's how he started off. He goes, "I'm not watching you guys because I know who you are." And then by the end of it, he goes, so you're all conservative? And I said, that's not exactly the case. I said, we are independents and the libertarians, and one person's a conservative. I said, we just tell the truth. So maybe if you would listen, you wouldn't think we're so bad. And by the end, he was like giving us high fives and drinking beer with us. And
you want him over.
So, well, or he was just pretending, but I liked him too. I'm like, you should listen, maybe even call in. And if you don't agree with us, so, but yeah, he was really cool, but he was not happy with us when he first pulled up in the golf cart, but so it was all right.
But overall, the good thing, I don't know how many teams, 30 teams, 34 teams. I met a lot of other people. They didn't yet know about Cancel This. And we talked about this. Last month, we had 180,000 views and listens of our material, which is phenomenal. It really is. And we're grateful for that. But you have to teach them and show people how to continue to listen. But half of that is in the St. Louis area. So it just shows you the growth that we can still have and we're trying to make, which is why we ask people to like, subscribe, and share, because when people watch and listen, most of the time they stick around.
They do. And it was fun how so many people were like, I used to listen to terrestrial radio and now that's the thing of the past. And we even heard new cars are going to be made without even AM radio, and next is going to be FM. And so it was really neat to see how many people understand that you really have to listen to podcasts now.
I think the thing that really surprised me was that people didn't know about us yet.
Yeah, quite a few. I'd say more didn't know about us than did. So,
but I did have I took 2 pictures yesterday with people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you did stories on my such and such.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. When was that? I was like, but it was fun to get out. They're long days. They're tough days. We did our best out on the course for our show yesterday. So we appreciate those who joined us. And we know that it wasn't the best overall show, but a lot of moving parts were taking place.
It might have been tough for you guys, but it was really easy for me. All I had to do was come in and hit a record button.
Well, that was great. You did a good job, Pro Joe, for sure. You did a good job.
I did a great job pressing that button.
But it is one of those things, guys. Once again, you just have to continue. Just do your best to share the show. Tell advertisers about us, people that want to get involved in any sort of a GoFundMe. Just to continue. It's not easy doing this, and we want to be bigger. We want to be better. And it takes getting that message out to people. So we're grateful for the support we've had. We're grateful for all the listens, not only in the St. Louis area, but also across the country. And if you guys have ways to help make the show even better, we're open to that as well. So that's what it was. We had fun. Curtis Barks
awesome.
and his wife, Emily Swift, they put on the most amazing golf tournament. Love. The weather was amazing. And yes, if we do that again, we'll get a selfie stick. I did see that, Karen. Yes. Hi, Karen. Hi, Shelly. Good morning to you. Hi, Pam, Mary, Joe. Good morning. Good morning to everybody who jumps in a little bit early. So we'll pick it up. We'll pick the energy up. That's for sure. In our show before the show. So Tabitha's out. We missed Eric. He could not make it yesterday, but that's all right.
I think he was afraid we'd embarrass him. That's what it is, because he's really cool, and we just say what we want, and he probably thought we were going to embarrass him, I think.
Yeah, but he also knows how long of a day that is.
It was a very long day.
That was a long day.
I love the people that would come up and look at you, and they would go, who is that? And I could hear them talking amongst themselves. Who is that? Who is that? And then they would come over to me, who was the nobody, and would go, who is that? And I'm like, Vic Faust. And they're like, oh, the news guy. Yeah.
You know what's funny? There's still people. I've talked about that a couple of. There's still people that think I do the news.
They do. That shows you how many people do not watch it anymore.
Do not watch the news.
So many people thought you were still on it.
It happened 3 times yesterday. Yeah. It happened in the grocery store like 3 weeks ago. It happened at my kids' lacrosse game 2 weeks ago. It's fun. Oh, yeah, it happens. It happens occasionally. All right. We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and start the show. We've got so many topics. We'll tease that coming up in just a moment. Let's get ready to start. Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha Hassel has the day off. She is, day off from here. She is working with her own business. Eric Johnson en route. Lizzie Sparks in studio today. She's over at Tabitha's spot. And then we've got Pro Joe in the house. It seems like we've got about 10 different massive topics to get to. We'll get to all of that coming up. But of course, you know who we are. cancelthisshow.com. Always like, subscribe, share a show, send stars if you can. Let people know what we got going on. That's what we're trying to do here. It is 8 to 10 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. And of course, you can catch all of our original content all the time on our website as well. You can make donations there as well. And of course, on our chat line, let us know or email us with story ideas. Some of you do that. Any kind of a content that we can do, we would do that as well. We're ready to get rolling. But first, before we do any of that, we tell you some of the stories we have coming up today. All right. I guess Miller Lite basically says the proverbial hold my beer. They have an ad out that there are some people who are upset about. I don't know. I can't wait to get Lizzie's opinion on this. I'm not outraged. I'm just not outraged. I'm not outraged, but apparently it was not a good ad for them to run right now. We'll break that down, especially when everything was going so well for Miller. And then we'll have to figure out why their executive deleted their social media account. That makes it look bad. We've got incredible video from the border, things that continue to go on right now. The Russia probe, final quotes from the Durham report favors Donald Trump 100%. Go figure. The massive, important witness, key witness in the Biden criminal alleged bribery scheme with Hunter and family members has disappeared. Person is no longer around. Where are they? Yeah. Then the FBI and the DOJ pulling all of their agents working the case. They pulled them all. They're not even going to mess with Hunter Biden. Okay. Maybe you saw that coming. Maybe you didn't, but it goes to show, which is why you can't be quiet and you have to continue to fight for what you got. Dr. Fauci at Washington University for their commencement. This guy is something else. Just wait to hear what he had to say. And of course, he was asked no tough questions by any local media. They praise the ground he walks on, which is sad, but I understand. They're in a tough spot because that's what happens when you work local news. You have to go in there and, it's a fun thing. It's a good thing. So WashU decided out of all of the commencement speakers they could have had, they chose Dr. Anthony Fauci. Anyway, New York high school, 6 of them. Yeah, you're now going to not have gym class for your high school students, and your kids are going to be in lockdown all day because we're going to put illegal immigrants, illegal aliens in the gyms. This is going on in New York. It came down over the weekend. We're going to break that down. And we'll tell you which news network beat CNN in the ratings Friday night. Not as if CNN is some high standard, but it goes to show what can happen and where things can go when people start to watch. As you can see, lots to get into. We're going to do it in just a moment. But first, we give you a look at our advertisers. Back with more of cancelthisshow.com right after this.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Marco, wait. What, no response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome back to cancelthisshow.com, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. For those listeners and viewers who know what we do, we're news headlines, politics, business, cancel culture, and pretty much anything else. Here to have a great time, here to educate, entertain, and inform. Also, we appreciate you guys being a part of the show with the comment line. Lizzie in studio taking care of that. Tabitha has the day off. Eric Johnson in at some point en route, and Projo is here. First thing we wanted to let everybody know about is a golf tournament that we got involved with. One of our advertisers, show sponsor, by the way, Complete Auto Body Repair, Complete Auto Body Repair, Complete Auto Body Repair. By the way, Dave says he's at Dr. Bagway's office this morning. Dave, remind him and tell him that you heard about him from cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you getting us that and letting us know what's going on. There he is on your screen, Dr. Mahesh Bagway. You're not going to find a better orthopedic surgeon to take care of anything, of course. Always trying to make sure you can get as healthy as you can first before having to go to any sort of surgery. Complete Auto Body Repair. Curtis Sparks and his team. 7 locations throughout the St. Louis area. If you're looking for a job, you're not going to find a better place to work. 7 climate-controlled facilities. They pay top dollar. If you don't believe me, ask the people who work there. They love it. People who are past retirement age love working there. I met 2 of them yesterday because they say Curtis and crew treat them with respect. You're not going to find a better place to work if you're in that industry. With that being said, they had the golf tournament yesterday out at they had it's on the
Whitmore Country Club.
My gosh, I want to call it Whitmore. I had some bad memories from Wentworth Military Academy. It's where we did our 2-a-days at the University of Missouri for football. We had a ex-military guy, West Point guy, took us to a military camp for 2-a-days. Nightmare for 2 years. Anyway, the golfing was fantastic. The weather was great, but even better, Complete Auto Body Care. So we went out. We had a golf tournament. We had a foursome, a team that golfed. Lizzie, myself, and Tabitha hung out at a hole. We sponsored a hole. We were at hole 9 on the south course. Coming into the clubhouse, we couldn't have been in a better spot, that's for sure. Our team finished tied for 4th out of like 34 teams. They didn't get any prizes, but they did great. They had a good time.
They think they got prizes. All that alcohol, they were having a good time.
Your husband, listener Joel, and Kevin Hill. We'll show you more of Kevin in just a second. Kevin owns a auto dealership. He has a car lot, sells vehicles in Troy, Missouri. So it was good to meet Kevin yesterday as well, jumping in on our team. We had a chance to meet several good people. And Alex, our marketing guy came out, helped out Curtis. He also had some situations going on with a drone zooming around, getting video, but he put together a quick little video. We wanted to show you a little bit of our day. Oh my gosh. Can you rewind? Not rewind, but I meant like that last shot. That was awesome. Anyway, that's fine, Pro Joe. The last video, if you didn't see that's Kevin Hill, who played on our team. His club cover was a Donald Trump cover. So it had the hair, it had everything on it. So anyway, he was quite the character. So he had the Donald Trump club cover. There's no better place to go with that. Interesting choice of music. Yeah, Donna says, yeehaw, country day out there. Anyway.
When I found that just seemed like the day.
Yeah.
Like that just seemed like what we were doing. So I found that and I was like, that is so fitting. All of us hee-haws over there at Whitmore.
100%. Okay. Kevin also had a terrific shirt that he showed during the awards dinner. You have to take a look at this because he was joking about being conservative. Yeah. He says, I couldn't shit a better president. Anyway, Kevin, we appreciate it. We thought that'd be kind of funny in regards to the kind of fun that we had out there yesterday. All right. Thank you. It is cancelthisshow.com. For any of your auto care needs, check out Complete Auto Body. We always talk about them needing employees, but we also want to talk about the service that they have and so many people getting out, doing what they can, enjoying getting their car serviced in whatever way they need at Complete Auto Body. Also, happy birthday to Curtis's wife, Emily. It's her birthday today as well. She runs a massive State Farm agency in the St. Charles County area in the St. Louis, Missouri area. There are so many topics to get started with today, but we have to go with I'll give you the disclaimer right off the bat. Bud Light screwed up massively. Their stock continues to fall because they never addressed the situation directly. They tried to kind of sidestep the issue. And then we saw some of the commercials that immediately came out after the Dylan Mulvaney controversy. They never apologized. They never said, we're sorry. They tried to use other words to say it, but they didn't say it. And we all know it's better to just keep your mouth shut if you're not going to actually address the situation head on. They screwed up and they're paying the price. And many would say it's good that they're paying a price. By the way, our own personal study canceled this yesterday. In our cooler of beer for golfers and people who are interested, there were several cans of one kind of beer that were left over at the end of the day. Bud Light. You can find Bud Light anywhere. Just like the bars and restaurants, people don't want to be associated with Bud Light. They just don't. There was one guy who took 2 cans of it, and then that was it.
That was it. I think it was only one guy.
And the rest of the products were gone fast. Nobody wants to be associated with Bud Light, and that's Bud Light's fault. So Miller Lite, I told you guys 2 weeks ago, I spoke with a local distributor that said, we're just trying to stay quiet. We're just trying to keep our head down. We're winning. We are winning, and we're not doing anything different than what we've ever done. Yeah, hold my beer. I guess this ad that we're going to show you has upset so many people across the country on social media outlets that now there is a cry to go after Miller Lite. Don't buy their beer either. It's like, what? Miller Lite was living the high life, really, literally, and they blew it. But I'm not all that crazed about what I saw. I'm really not. You guys can rip me for it, or you can agree with me. I can't wait to get Lizzie's opinion. But here's the ad. After everything that happened, here is Miller Lite with an ad, not responding to anything, just trying to get out ahead of anything and everything.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. How did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow. Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers.
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer.
That good helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any you got into Miller Lite and they'll turn that into good too. Oh, so here's to women, because without us, there would be no beer.
All right, what do you think? Miller Lite decides to come out with an ad. Lizzie.
I had heard that, and one of the listeners, Paul, said that too. I thought this came back out in March and just got overlooked, like for Real Women's Month.
Oh, for real, yeah.
And if that came out first, that's okay. I mean, I think using the word shit all the time is fine. It just tries to make women look like badasses.
Yeah, that's what they're
trying. But in light of what Bud Light did, now it looks bad. So I don't know if that's Bud Light trying to find the commercial. I don't know. But I just think both of these, Miller and Bud Light, they're pandering to women who really don't appreciate it. It's like, just drink a beer, people. I think us women, us conservative women, are just fine with a good-looking man on a horse riding down that has muscles than pandering to women. So, I mean, and we all drink beer. I get that. And it was proven yesterday at the golf course. But they need to just stop making women look stupid. I mean, that's...
So what do you think about the ad then? Good, bad, indifferent?
I don't care. I'm kind of indifferent about it because knowing that it probably came out before, I don't think it's any big deal. But now if they're pushing it, if Miller Lite is pushing it now, they're dumb. They should just lay low, take the sales that they have, because you can't win right now. You cannot win if you're talking about women in any light that makes us look stupid, because women don't like it. And people are just tired of the pandering. They're tired of all of this. So the commercial's really not that bad, except for what happened to Bud Light. That's my opinion.
I think it's all the timing. I did not have a massive issue with this, but if you're Miller, why?
Yeah, why did you do that?
Why, Miller? Why put yourself out in the middle of traffic during rush hour with a chance to get hit? There's no reason why. Why? Now, Donna says at least it looked like real women.
That's a good point. Were they really women?
They were real women. That's why I was not offended by this ad. I was offended by what Bud Light did with Dylan Mulvaney.
I just want to know, why do we have to have a moral lesson with our beer or any substance that we drink recreationally?
Yeah.
Boom. Thank you. Pro
that
Joe.
That is perfect, Joe.
Once again, if I had a device to give you points, I'd give you points.
Yeah, you would have won that. You would have won this.
With that being said, we've got the whole situation going on with Bud Light. Let Bud Light continue to shoot themselves in the foot, continue to lose stock, continue to lose billions worldwide, with a B, billions, and just go about your business. If you're going to do an ad, if you're going to try to jump in, why that ad? Why that ad? Once again, I'm not offended by it, but what it does is it draws attention to oneself. And then it gives people a reason, like, what? Why are you doing this whole woman thing as if women have been pushed to the side? You give people a reason. Once again, I have no massive issue with the ad at all, but I can't complain with people who say boycott it, because once again, number one, who is your main audience? It's mostly men. And if you're trying to educate men, I'm not quite sure, as if they've done something wrong. That's not a good way to do it. And by the way, to say women, they put us in bikinis. No, they didn't. No, that you put yourself in bikinis.
Correct. Especially at that time.
You always have a choice.
I think in a way, this is their way to jab back at because women's rights are kind of at stake right now.
They are.
And the, So I think in a
that
way,
was
it's kind of a
their
way
that
of
was their
jabbing
way
back.
to back real women,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
badass women,
Right.
compost women, women who won't be seen in an ad in a bikini.
Right. I mean, it wasn't the best attempt.
But I agree. I think it was their attempt to say, women, you are great and you are powerful and all of that. And they just need to leave it alone, I think. Just leave it alone and let us drink our beer. And like you said, Joe, no moral lesson. We don't need to have moral lessons.
Well, they're trying to appeal to consumers in new markets. They're trying to get women to drink beer. They used a comedian, Lana Glazer. Did I say her name right?
I think so.
Anyway, it just, okay, I get it. I just am not sure why you would do that right now. So now there's a boycott of Miller Lite to try to muddy the water. I was convinced if people are upset about it, maybe Bud Light was paying Miller to do something to screw themselves. But it is interesting because another take that I got off air about the whole situation regarding this was the fact that when you look at what you have, here's what it is. Not as bad as Bud Light, of course, but why would they do the timing that they're doing when they're gaining all the Bud Light boycotters? It's stupid. The timing is stupid. These are beers that are primarily seen as rough and tough, Vic. They're a manly drink. Those guys don't want their drinks to be associated with anything feminine, anything fancy, or especially trendy. And that's why you have the boycott that's going on right now. Case in point, is it big enough? Yeah, it's big enough right now where you have a top marketing executive for Miller Lite deleting all their social media, deleting it because they don't want to hear about anything and the boycotts. So when you see that, yeah, it casts a light. Okay, here we go again. Kathy says the ad was pro-women. That's when I first saw it, that's what I thought. Then I just feel sometimes we get that train on the track and it's coming and it's charging and it's not going to stop. And then all of a sudden we don't even know why it's still going, but it is.
Correct. I think so too. I think their intent is what Joe said. Excuse me. It was that it would be pro women, but if it came out now, it is bad timing. But so many people on the chat line are saying this came out prior.
Yeah. If that was the case, that would be, and you know what, for women's.
Then it would have been fine. Honestly, it would have been
Aaron
fine.
says that it was actually from March. I think
Yes.
AB InBev re-released it online so that they could try to take some heat.
I think that's what happened.
That would make sense to me. And Kevin says, stop belittling real men.
I do think white males, especially Christian white males, have been under attack for almost a decade. It's kind of turning now that it's attacking women in general, and especially conservative women. But it's ridiculous. But the good light at the end of the tunnel of all of this is people are just tired of all of this. So if people just live their life and ignore this kind of stuff, everything, I don't know that it'll get better, but I think that's what's happening is people are just seeing that everybody's getting attacked, everybody's fighting, everybody's arguing. But like Donna said on the chat line, and so did Kathy, there's bigger issues to fry, and we're all talking about beer. So it's another distraction from possibly the border and what Soros and Biden and everybody's doing.
Yeah, and that's where we leave it from that standpoint. We want to address it first to get it out of the way because it is one of those things. Miller Lite. Was it released early? Was it re-released? It doesn't matter. It was put together at some point in time. The fact of the matter is that right now, there is a boycott because of this, and people aren't asking questions. They're just saying boycott. This is cancelthisshow.com. If you have more questions or situations regarding what happened with that, you can jump in on the chat line. If there's any information we didn't share, you can let us know about that, and we'll continue to cover that as well. When it comes to the border, when it comes to what's happening in New York, these are the kind of stories that should piss you off because they're not stopping, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. And the Biden administration and all the little minions that have been put into place to tear down the country are continuing to do what they do. And that starts with what's happening right now all across the border. Case in point, check out this video from an independent journalist who got some video that was released about who all these men were coming into our country. We spoke about over the weekend, you had an FBI terror list member being caught at the border and he's from Afghanistan. What the hell is he doing? What the hell is he doing at the Mexican-California border? It makes zero sense. Just this gives you an idea. Listen to where these guys say. This is just one small little group where these guys are from.
¿De dónde son?
You'll do.
Look at that group, guys. ¿De dónde son? Peru. Peru. ¿De dónde son? Brazil. Brazil. ¿De dónde son? Africa. Ghana. What? Mauritania. Senegal. Senegal. Mauritania. Senegal. Mauritania. Senegal. Brazil. Ecuador. Holy cow, guys. I don't say holy shit very often, but holy shit. ¿De dónde son? India? India? ¿Y tú? ¿De dónde son? Where are you from? Huh? Brazil?
It's an invasion.
Holy cow. Holy cow, guys. That's it. You want to see the death of a country? Right there. Wow.
All right. Like we said, the beer situation is one thing. It pales in comparison to this. This is massive. It is an invasion. Eric, you just said it. You walked into studio. So let me repeat the countries. Just there's it. Venezuela, Mexico, Senegal, Brazil, Ecuador, India, at least. Just in that small group.
Well, the only way you save this, and it's so unfortunate. See, the last time it was 11 million. It was like, you're going to get amnesty to these people, right? No, we can fix the border. We can get border control, but we'll just have to give the amnesty to the 11 million that are already here. I'm afraid, and I would love to hear a Republican politician come on this show and dispute this, but the way that the first order of business, if you get a Republican president in, is you have to deport these guys. You got to find them, and you got to say, sorry, sucks to be you, but this was completely mismanaged during this, whatever it was, this allowance of being taken over by foreign countries, because that's exactly what it is. You're wrecking culture. This is what happens. You're wrecking a culture, which is what you want to preserve. You're wrecking public school systems. You're destroying people's way of living in their communities, because now it's coming to not just New York, but it's coming to the offshoots of New York, the suburbs.
We're going to be paying for every one of them.
Yes.
They're going to go on public aid.
Well, you're going to go to the urgent care, and your kid is going to probably not get in any timely fashion. They are bending over backwards in California now to give illegal aliens unemployment benefits. Which means that they're trying. I know for a fact here in this area,
yes,
that they are giving money stipends for these people to get houses.
You're right.
I know for a fact. I mean, I've seen it. I've literally seen
How
the
are they
document.
getting that? How is that happening?
I don't know. I think it's ghost.
Now that gets me irate.
It's ghost.
But
money.
Eric's right.
It's ghost money. It's ghost money. It goes through agency, and then it gets filtered into probably another agency, and then that agency says, "Oh, by the way, yeah, here's $50,000. Go buy yourself a house. Hurry." And they're doing this behind your back, and everything is a shiny object, and you are there to just sit and take it. And I'm afraid to say, and this sucks because I don't know how you put this into an ad campaign. When we get into office, if you came here illegally, we're going to get your asses back on a plane. We're going to send you where you came from, and you will not be able to get in this country for 5 years.
Man, Eric, I can't agree with you anymore. I wish that is what would happen if you got a Republican in. But the money and the time in the years, it will be massive. It would be extensive, but it would all be worth it. 100%, it would be worth it. And just wait till Joe brought up the financial aspect of what's going to happen. And it'll be painted to you and told to you as Americans, legal Americans, that, oh, no, it's really not that bad. Mayorkas is still saying, well, the border's not that bad. There's nothing to see.
Don't listen to these guys anymore. Hold on. Stop. From this point on in this show, I don't need to hear any of that. You guys, they lie so bad. What just came out with the FBI and the Durham report will just show you.
And we're going to get to that
how
too.
bad they lie. They lie about everything. There's nothing. Listen to me. There's nothing that you're hearing from your federal government in the executive branch right now that's true. Nothing. You cannot trust them anymore. It is over. They lost. They just became Pinocchio. Everything they say is different levels of truth. But there's no exact truth to these guys anymore. Zero.
But the problem that you're going to have, mark my words, the crime will start to run rampant. The crime, it's only
that's part of the plan.
It's only a matter of time
part of the plan.
before the crime
break the system down.
Hits your safe communities. And we're not trying to scare anybody. This is Eric saying this too. All right.
Correct.
This is Eric. This isn't Tabitha. This isn't Lizzie or me. This is Eric. It's coming. It's going to hit the communities.
We heard that
I
yesterday.
have no idea what's going to happen and how bad it's going to be.
It's called being swamped.
Yes.
It's called being swamped. It's like at a certain point you're living your life and you look around and you turn back around and your schools are inundated with people who are not culturally the same as you are anymore. And all of a sudden your local governments need to cater to that. Your kids now are diluted. The money that you spend on taxes is now diluted. And you are now paying for social programs that you had no idea that you were supposed to be paying for. I don't understand how the people in California deal with this. I have no idea.
You know what I'm very afraid of? The kids that are brought, even though most, and when I say most, the figures that we're getting is well over 70%, 80% single men.
Yeah,
that's the that. They're men. They're
These
single
are
men.
Single, younger men coming into the country. That's who's coming in.
And you know what I heard a millennial say the other day? Oh, they're only coming in here because Biden is letting them in, but they're not here to do any harm.
It's so funny.
They're just here to take money and send it back to their family.
No.
I said, that's not at all
No, they're
what
here
they're
to
here doing.
You go, I tell you what, you go just between Orange County and Los Angeles sometime, you will not recognize the United States anymore. There are parts of this country, and that was 20 years ago.
Correct.
You come to they are coming in here to bring their culture, to demand they get their ways, and there's going to be a day, and it's not even, I mean, we're talking maybe months.
Yeah, it's right around
maybe months that you're going to have these people, oh, don't worry, you can vote. We just voted through our legislator. You can now vote. I know you're not from this country, but you live here and you pay taxes. So vote with the rest of us. Well, that's what's coming.
Well, Nicole Jenkins, go ahead, Pro Joe.
No, I was going to say that they're trying to let even illegal immigrants vote. Yeah. So that's exactly what the motive is here, because they know that's the only way Biden's going to win.
Yeah, but it's a slippery slope too. But I've also been told from somebody who came into this country, I think I said it before on the show, it may work at first, but it won't, because people who are coming in here, this is coming from another immigrant who said people will quickly realize, oh crap, we're not getting what we thought we would. It's the other party, but it may be too little.
It's going to be too late for those, for you people out there right now that think that you are doing the Lord's work and letting these people over. No. You are not doing the Lord's work. You are literally about to bankrupt yourself. Your community is going to become unlivable. You will start to look for other places in the United States to live. You will become
Social Security.
You will become one of them, not because you want to, because your community is going to start to look like Chicago, no matter where you are. St. Charles, you think St. Charles is safe? No, it's not.
Yesterday, the head sheriff was at the golf tournament, and he said that exactly to us yesterday, that he has to, and we need to have him on the show. His name is Don. And he said, our community, if we do not slow this down, is not going to look like it does today. And he said, we're already having increased crime. Yeah. And we're in, the bedrock, the safe place of the United States. And he's saying that about here.
Nicole Jenkins, guest of our show, she'll be joining us more frequently coming up, at least on a monthly basis. She chimed in just a short time ago saying, quote, "We better get a hold of this country or we're done!" ! My people, wake us or wake up. Joe Biden should be in a nursing home playing cards. He's not fit to run.
No, he's not.
This country, United States citizens, have to assimilate to other countries' values. People crossing the borders, this is a big situation. Make us assimilate to their culture. What a crock of mess. Poor United States lacks education, housing, food, employment. How in the world can we give all our resources to illegal immigrants? We pay taxes to this country. Biden must go! !
I would like for the Drew Collins of the world, and is he here today?
Yeah, he's been.
I would love for this cat to say, dudes, this is exactly what we voted for. The 85 million of us that voted for Biden, you guys, I would love an affidavit from all 85 million of these guys saying this is exactly what we voted for. We want to be overrun in Wentzville. We want to be overrun in Pennsylvania. We want to be overrun. We want this. We want our vote diluted. I would like for Drew Collins right now, is he here? He's probably gone, to say, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted.
Right.
I want him to do it right now. Go ahead, Drew. I'm waiting.
We'll wait for him. In the meantime, Pam says, guys, we've already lost our nation unless there is a French Revolution or something like that.
The millennials and Gen
nice
Zs are
distraction
too stupid
for elections, as Donna says.
Unfortunately, your younger generation is too got their head up their ass about other things.
By
they just
design.
don't care. Yeah, they don't care.
By design.
This is all by design, intelligent design, however you want to say it. And
But in all fairness, when we were the Gen Zs, we had our heads up our asses too about stuff, but it didn't matter that much. You know, we were about hairband rock. I was anyway. I was about hairband rock. I was about going and jumping in the quarry and, you know, going and checking out, you know, the Equidome over here in we weren't involved in this as they are. So, but unfortunately, this is like a social way of living for them.
Well, let's see what happens now in New York, because a side story of all of this BS that's happening at our border and all kinds, millions of people over the years are coming into this country, changing the outlook of it. And then allegedly you have people like Eric said, Drew, who think this is good for the country, which is sickening, absolutely sickening. Now you have New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who says, I have no other choice because the federal government does not have a plan in place, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, anybody else that's, quote, leading this country. This dumbass, Eric Adams, and he is a dumbass, because if you start hurting kids, you're a dumbass. 6 New York City schools in the Bronx, high schools, now being used to house illegal immigrants in the gymnasiums.
Yeah.
Gym class is over. Kids are put on lockdown. They're inside the school all day long now, 100%. What? They literally were told Friday. The school's told Friday.
Here we go.
This is going to happen.
Here we go.
The immigrants started arriving Saturday night. Kids show up to school yesterday. Welcome to your new normal. Here's your neighbors. Illegal immigrants, single young men in the high school with your kids in the same freaking institution. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6 damn high schools. And Eric Adams is trying to present this as decent. Thank God there are some parents in New York City right now that are trying to fight this. I don't know what they can do. The only thing you can do is try to pull your kids, but then where the hell are you going to take them?
Nothing.
And then there are red tape levels at every level when you try to take your kids to other schools, unless you're going private. We all know not everybody can go private. It is damn expensive.
Well, Texas is working on that.
What is Texas doing?
Texas is now, the governor has called the Senate and the House back in that session.
They're trying
to get 5 to 8 million kids to have vouchers to go to whatever school they want. It
hasn't been approved yet, but they're trying.
But am I the only one that thinks Abbott should be doing more? That's his state that they're just flooding in.
You're seeing the product of him being swamped. The word of the day is swamped.
Yeah.
It's like we're expecting 1 inch. We're expecting 1 inch of rain, and you have a creek in your backyard, and you just got 20 inches of rain. Well, I was expecting 1 inch, and I have 20. Now I have a flooded basement. He only has so many arms and legs.
And the local news channels aren't doing the stories that they should. They're not doing the justice they should.
That's the worst part of this.
That's why you need media outlets like ours to continue to try to bring this information forward. National media isn't telling you what's going on. I mean, think about this. If you think this is bad, and 3, 4, 5 years ago, we never would have imagined what's happening right now. That's how fast things can change. Think about that. Let that sink in.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell are we going to be in a year or 2 years? Because it's a slippery slope. And now as the country gets invaded, and it's going to hit you in your pocketbook, and it's going to hit you in your security. Those are the first 2 things. Yeah. It's going to hit you with your convenience. It's changing, and it's by design.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally have people saying, oh, yeah, I'll still vote Democratic. Yeah. Yeah, that's just how jaded and silly people can be. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dumbass for you. You can't continue to vote for people who are doing this, and you can't listen to the crap that they're giving you. If they're not taking an active effort and active action to stop what's happening at the border or in your communities, they're not on your side. They're not.
No, there's laws, and we're breaking. Our lawmakers are breaking all the laws. Our law enforcement officials are breaking all the laws. So here's the deal. This is what I've found in the last 24
and
hours.
pray
since
for your
last
police
Friday. Since last Friday,
and people who are trying to deal with these situations. That is going to get worse.
They can't do nothing. Here's the
they're
deal.
Called to
here's
the
the deal.
scenes.
They're called to the scenes. They make a report. Nice. Here's the deal. What I've learned: nothing that you listen to, that you hear about what your government telling you, nothing from that podium anymore, from Jean-Pierre or whatever her name is. Don't believe a word. I'm sorry.
You can't believe.
There's nothing you can. She says that's believable anymore. There's nothing. That's the saddest part of this to me. After what came out with Durham, and I keep conflating the Durham thing and this thing together. No matter what Mayorkas tells you to the camera that it's handled. No, it's not. Well, it is handled. It's handled the way you want it to be handled. But you're not protecting the country. The ramifications of what's going. Anyway, does the disgust come out of my voice enough today?
No, you're exactly right.
No, it should,
but
Eric,
see, that's
right
where
on.
I still think Abbott needs to do more. And so does a lot of people on the chat line. You're exactly right, Eric, when you say it's, this dam that broke open and he can't do anything about it. But he knew this was coming. And some of the people, I don't know if this is true, but I tend to agree with them. He's part of this. I don't think he's necessarily purposely a bad guy.
Who?
Abbott down in Texas. However, I do think he's part of the problem that he didn't slow this down.
Well, Kathy,
it's not really his job, though.
Kathy says, go to the World Economic Forum website, go to clients.
And Abbott's on there.
Abbott's on there. And it could be for a variety of reasons. I'm not trying to back the guy.
And in theory, the World Economic Forum, if you are one of the top 10 states in the United States and you want to bring economic development to your state, you got to be on that forum, I'm afraid. You got to go, hi, how you doing? We want your business here.
And it could be from a financial aspect too, but I can't get over the fact you should be effing pissed, even if your kids aren't in New York and kids are freaking stuck in high schools with young illegal immigrant men. This is as bad as it gets.
That's disgusting.
It is. It really is.
Okay. And if it's going down in New York, guess where else it's going to go? It's going to go in Chicago. We spoke about this yesterday. There are hotels, at least one former fancy hotel in Chicago that's not letting anybody else in except illegal immigrants. It is their home. It has been designated their home. You can't make the crap up.
I hate to say this.
It's not going to stop.
I hate to say this. God, come on, man. This is supposed to be Good News Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, it's not Good News Tuesday. It's Bad News
Well, then
Tuesday.
bring it.
Here's the one thing we need to do. And this is like, we have to hear it from our governor's mouth. We need to get Governor Parson on the air as soon as we can and say, here's the situation. My parents went away on a week's vacation and they left the keys to the brand new Porsche. And I said, anyway, here's the situation.
Mind, of course not.
Here's the situation. All these illegals are coming over the border. They got a target on all these red states. Governor Parson, what are you going to do to ensure that we do not turn into California, New York, Chicago? And we need to hear it from his
You're talking
mouth.
about from the state of Missouri.
Yes.
And every state is going to
I don't care about Iowa, and I don't care about Kansas, and I don't care about Nebraska. We need to know what happens in our own backyard.
Because you live in Missouri.
Yes. That's all you have right now.
Every state's going to be dealing with this, Eric. Every single state.
No. I want to hear, some of these states are badasses. Some of these states have really proven themselves to be like, no, not on our soil, dog. And we need to be either one of those, or we need to understand how that's going to affect us now. Because you got to make plans for this.
Well, Joe says the feds made Arizona tear their wall down. Jay says the Fed obstructs all attempts to deal with what's happening.
Well, then you got to obstruct the feds, I'm afraid. Then you have to figure out how to fight back against these guys and say you're killing the country.
Oh, we're going to Oh yeah. We're going to need to do that whole
And it's so sad because you don't even have the media to help you out. Your country is going down it's going down a funnel, and you're watching it in some circular motion like it's going down a toilet, but you don't even have the Lester Holtz of the world saying, yeah, United States is changing. It's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Because all of this is happening right as the election comes. And you have to know that things aren't happening by chance anymore. Just please do me a favor. If you're somebody who thinks that all of the craziness just oh, well, I can't believe all this stuff that's happening just out of nowhere, man. The country is just really bad. Politics are just really bad. I don't get. Remind yourself or go ask somebody. It is on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is all planned.
I didn't think it was, but now I do.
And if you think, quote, the pandemic, it just happened by chance, think again. That's a prelude to in our 9 o'clock hour with Dr. Fauci, who was in St. Louis as a commencement speaker, avoiding everything that we should be talking about.
Another thing.
But the border, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
But this freaking border situation, you're going to get tired of it. You're going to get tired of hearing about it, but you can't. Because as soon as you look over your shoulder, somebody could be standing there and they're not here to help you or your family. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's really scary. And you know what, Eric? You are the exact type of person that is regular America. I know I keep saying that, but the fact that you're so pissed and the fact that you clearly see it now, I would have to say 80% of the people have to see it now.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, Eric,
I don't know.
So?
Eric,
I know.
Democrat Drew responded, Eric. Democrat Drew said, America's changing and I love it.
Well, you're just a dumbass.
Oh, look at him.
Drew, you're a dumbass.
He's chimed in.
Drew, I would really like Drew to come on the show and Projo can send him a video link.
He won't.
Eric, but he won't come on. But come on, Drew.
I would like to send 15 illegals over to his house.
Hey, you know what? I just heard they're coming to his house. Did you hear that? Knock, 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 knock. And I wonder how many he'll let in.
Well,
he won't let anybody
until
even come on the show.
It's like this. It's like, I'm sure there's a lot of liberal New Yorkers, right, that voted for Kamala and Joe. And all of a sudden, now they're starting to see that when they go to essential services in their little backyard, and I've seen it actually on Fox a few times, these people are pissed. And I'm like, who the hell are you pissed at? You ain't pissed at Joe and Kamala. They told you they were going to do it. You got to be mad at yourself because you're so dumb.
If you're voting Democrat and Democrats support this, they do. Tell me I'm wrong, or tell me Democrats who are speaking out against this at the national level and at the state level, and we'll give them their fair due because this is a national show. But the Democrats that I've heard support this, they do. They support this. And if you support it, fine, that's your prerogative. But just think about what you're going to be responsible for, your signature writing for what's happening and what's about to happen. I'm sorry, I don't see how anybody could think any part of this is good.
No, it's not. It's not.
Really,
you know what, though?
We give you your opportunity to chime in.
It's not even good for the immigrants. It's not.
No, it's not.
This is not wholesome for the immigrants. Listen to me. Hold on. You guys think you're doing the Lord's, or whatever you think you're doing. You're not doing. You're doing it for demographic reasons. Is why you're doing it.
Eric,
period.
Let's make you happier. This goes on your point. Kathy wanted me to tell you this.
Sure.
Eric, blacks in Chicago are rising up against this. They're very angry and asking why these people are being dumped in their neighborhoods.
Not enough people. Okay. You got 8 million people in that area, and maybe you have a couple thousand. You need 4 million people to have an uprising against this socialist stuff that's going on. But the thing about it is, we have a kid dead in federal custody now from illegal immigration.
Yep, heard about it.
We have people who are sold into sex, to slavery, the sex trade business.
That's been going on.
We literally have Chinese people. We have no idea where these guys are coming from, walking into the country.
Yes.
Inserting themselves into the ecosphere.
There's some states with cartel issues because there are people in America that are being held under slavery to grow marijuana.
Yeah,
yes. You're exactly
well, not
right.
only to grow marijuana,
other things too.
Yeah. All kinds of things. I mean, cleaning businesses, working 13 to 15-hour shifts, and not being allowed to go to school either. If you really want to break it down for all the soft, bleeding heart Democrats and liberal, let's break down the freaking issues. Stop the BS with climate change. Stop the other issues. This has all of a sudden become the massive issue, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse.
Yeah, and this might be an issue. And I always, back when I was in Seattle, I used to live in Seattle, Washington. I used to go, how in the F can a state just claim, you know what, we're a sanctuary state. Or we're a sanctuary city. Of course, come here. Of course you can come here. I'm like, that's a federal law, I thought. Wasn't that a federal law? Well, why don't you, if you're going to have sanctuary states and cities.
Or cities,
why don't you
sanctuary cities.
Why don't you have illegal zones where if we find you, you're going to jail. And you're going to stay there until we can figure out what to do with you.
You're talking sense and logic again.
I mean, I'm seriously.
100%.
How? I mean, it's like if you want to come here to St. Louis or to St. Charles, come on. But if we find you, you're going to the county jail because you're illegal.
Yes.
If you want to be safe and secure and roam the streets,
Boom.
go to Seattle. Go to Seattle.
Right, but keep these
walls,
red states safe.
Walls and protection could have already been put in place and constructed to stop this, but instead we sent that money to Ukraine. It's a war that will not be won by Ukraine. It is a war that is killing a lot of the money that we send going nowhere, doing nothing. It's only destabilizing that area. It's destabilizing our economy, and it is. And don't say, oh, we got plenty of money to send. No, we don't. Our resources going there when we could have done more at the border. And this is going to get massive, massive, massive.
And you do realize that there is integrity, there's wholesomeness, there is goodness of a country that says, come over here. But you know what? There's a front door. And you go, and you go, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm from Israel, or I'm from Afghanistan, or I'm from Mexico, or wherever I'm from. I seek refuge because I would like to be a part of your integrate. I want to come here to work. There is a wholesomeness to a country like that, but you do it through the proper channels.
Correct.
And we've set up those proper channels, and you come through Ellis Island, you sign your name on the paperwork, and you put your thumbprint down. We know who you are. You're now part of the country. None of that. We don't respect any of that the way we're doing it right now. None of it.
Vetted, and you should know the culture before you come to this country.
And there is a goodness about that Republicans, Democrats, independents, whoever can totally respect that. But what's going on right now is a blatant invasion of this country.
Well, even in our area and all over, is you can't even go to the store anymore and it be the same way it used to be. People are not speaking English. And that irritates me. If I go over to France and I want to live there, I'm going to have to learn French. But they're coming over here and speaking God knows what language, and they're not even trying to assimilate.
No.
That is annoying.
I believe to go to Australia, I believe it's a $5 million buy-in.
You don't want to go to Australia anymore.
Yeah.
Australia is one of the most liberal, has turned into one of the most liberal countries in the world. And we all saw it start with the pandemic and taking your rights away. It's crazy. At one time, you thought Australia was this great country. It's not.
Yeah.
It's been invaded just like
I
we're
think
being
that
invaded.
federalism it seems to me, there's a lot of states that are they've had enough of this federal thumb that's on top of their heads. That the states of Florida and the states of Missouri and the states of wherever, Montana, they've had enough. They have literally seen what's happening. And they're like, you know what, whatever the hell it is that you think you're doing to Chicago, you're not bringing it here. Senate, House legislator, governor, let's start signing some bills here and rejecting what the hell is going on. And that rejection might just mean if you want to be a sanctuary state, we're exactly the opposite of that. So move your asses up here if you want to.
Paul says there's a lot of reported resentment that's coming out from immigrants that went through the process the right way.
Oh, my God.
They hate the people who are jumping in. But what does that do? What does it mean?
Nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing.
I mean, I agree. I hear it. I see it. But what is going to happen? Jay says succession is coming. Interesting.
I think, I'm not like Tabitha over there. I think that secession, it's done with U-Hauls and Ryder trucks. And I do believe.
But where do you go now?
You go.
Because this problem is going everywhere.
No, I'll tell you where you go, Vic. I'll tell you where you go. These states are going to go, yeah, we see Illinois. We're South Carolina. We're not doing that. It's not going to be a gradient. It's going to be black or white. You are either going to be a Florida or you're going to be a California. There's no in between.
And the U-Haul is right. Like you guys have heard me say this before.
Right.
My son has lived in New York and California, and that U-Haul keeps coming back to Missouri.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's hard to live there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's going to be people are just going to be fed up, and the people with means. And that's the other thing about it. If you have a job and you employ 20 people working as a construction company and you're in Missouri, or if you're in Chicago, or I can't even tell you how it would be to be in Chicago, and you're like, look, our trucks keep getting smashed into, our unemployed, our taxes are off the chain, we can't keep a business running, people are moving. Those people with means that they're going to pick up leave, and the 20 people who were employed today will not be employed tomorrow. It will start to get really ugly.
Well, Mary says they're going to infiltrate Florida as well. Just wait and see.
I don't know how that's
they're
going to
want their warmer climates.
I think they're already there. I think so too. But I don't know that they're being as obnoxious as they're being in Illinois, but I think they have them in Florida too.
And Kevin brings up a great point too. Consider what's happening around the country. We brought it up yesterday. You even have Dave Chappelle talking about San Francisco, a city he once loved. He can't recognize it because of the homelessness, and he's not trying to overdo it. In regards to the homelessness that we're seeing even in the Midwest, in cities, in St. Louis, homelessness on streets that we've never seen before. Now you add this factor to the equation. It's going to blow up. It's going to get worse. He says, quote, Joe Biden will go down as the worst appointed president in American history, the one who destroyed America. And the sad thing is that he doesn't even know what he's doing.
That's true. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He thinks he's doing a good job.
Okay, this is great. Yeah.
Did you see his little bike path interview the other day?
What was it?
It was disgusting. It was like you literally are sitting there with high definition cameras and a microphone in front of the president of the United States face, and you're asking about how was your Mother's Day?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to get the serious stuff. Facebook user says, hey, Eric, the serious issue effect.
Yeah.
It affects every state. You can keep moving from the problems, but the problems have a nasty habit of spreading everywhere.
They are. You talk about the creek and the water. It's like there's a wall and the water's going up underneath and it's spreading everywhere. We can't stop it.
Yeah. It's overwhelming and it's very sad. And unfortunately, it's like the plane you should have pulled the yoke up about 2.5, 3 years ago. You should have started pulling up. And now the face of the plane is now flying right into the mountain, and you're watching it happen.
You're right.
There's no pulling up anymore, guys. I'm sorry, you guys.
Watching it happen.
Yeah, there's no pulling up anymore.
Yeah, people are looking for parachutes.
Yeah, parachutes might be too late also.
And people are fighting for those parachutes. It's what we're looking at. Derek says U.S. neighboring homes have had windows broken into, cars broken into, etc. Thank God for the Second Amendment. First time that we've heard anybody talk about the Second Amendment.
Well, that Second Amendment's not going to get you very far. What's the case up there in New York? The stranglehold death. What's his name?
Penny.
So that's
don't be a good Samaritan.
I got a theory about that.
Don't try to help out anybody.
I got a theory about that too. They are over mediaizing this thing.
Of course they are.
Yes,
for a reason. Like, now look, little children. You think that you can be a good Samaritan and help other people as crime is running rampant in your city? Look what we do to this guy. And next time, maybe you'll think about it.
Making an example.
You see an 80-year-old lady get punched on a train, you might want to think twice about going to help her. Oh, man, I just gave myself chills.
Yep.
Melody just said, guys.
Spot on.
My sister and sister-in-law live in El Paso. They said they can't even go out at night right now without feeling that it's going to be unsafe and worried about their safety.
And you know what's sad? Melody lives in very rural Missouri, and it's a really cool town. I don't want to say it unless she wants to be said, but I've heard that town is starting to get illegals there, and that she lives in a cute town.
We're going to continue to talk about this, but we're also going to get into, Dr. Fauci in St. Louis speaking at WashU as a commencement speaker. Yeah, this cat still getting paid top dollar as an expert, as some sort of hero to come talk to your graduating classes in college. WashU, just wait till we tell you what he said there. And all you conspiracy theorists, he basically slapped you in your face over everything that's going on. He says COVID's still here. Yeah, okay, thanks, bud. We'll break that down. The John Durham report done. Should have never happened. No factual evidence. Democrats are trying to spin it. Don't let it happen. We'll break that down. What's going on? Oh, yeah, by the way, the one informant has gone missing in the Biden crime cases.
Creepy.
It is creepy.
Go check Hillary's basement.
The Republican Oversight Committee can't find the informant now. Gone all of a sudden. Just disappeared into thin air. 9 of the 10, I'll just wait till you hear 9 of the 10 people associated. They're either one of 3 things, and the one is missing all of a sudden. We'll tell you about the network that beat CNN last Friday night as well. Very interesting stuff there. Lots to get to. Plus, we'll continue this talk. Cancelthisshow.com. We got to show you our ads, our partners. Please use them if you need any of those products. Donations are always welcome. We're grateful for that as we continue to try to do what we can. I just saw
the show flows better when Tabitha's not here, doesn't it?
Stop it.
Doesn't it just kind of it has a nice silky smooth flow to it.
Projo's here. Eric, Lizzie Sparks. Don't be saying that. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha's off today because she is working with Disney. She's got a important business meeting with
is
Disney.
she really? Her and Iger.
Yeah, I don't
She's
envy.
a star.
I don't envy Tabitha's job today. I feel bad for her.
I got to know what
She's got to bite that tongue.
Okay.
Back with more. Cancel this after this. Share this show. Back in just a couple minutes.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's at 100-plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart in your hands like
absolutely,
Rockwood does,
yeah.
right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job, so make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your Rockwood charcoal. Let's talk roofs. Voted best roofing pro in all of St. Charles County, RJR and Associates Roofing has been protecting people from the chaotic Missouri weather for over 20 years. Business and homeowners, whether you need to patch a leaky roof or it's just time for a completely new one, RJR has got you covered. Just call our buddy Ron today at 314-852-5074. That's 314-852-5074.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Hey guys, welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you being a part of what we do as we try to educate, entertain, inform, and you guys helping us out as a part of it, being a part of the team, the Cancel This team, cancelthisshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central Time, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. You can listen to us, and you can watch us, whatever you want to do. We're a part of it. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks is here running the chat line and hosting. Eric Johnson, of course, right here. Pro Joe on the boards. Tabitha, as we said before the break, is gone today. She's at a meeting, unfortunately dealing with Disney. Tabitha, we feel for you today. That's not her saying it. That's us.
Yeah, that's us saying it. I said to Vic when I found out that's where she's going, how can she bite her tongue with those? I called him a name. I won't say it.
Yeah, but they're just talking movies. Hopefully they're not talking politics.
Good.
That would be better for everybody.
For sure. Yeah, Disney just needs to stay out of politics.
Yeah, we did do that. Eric, we had a shirt yesterday. I wanted to show you. Can you pop the shirt back up? We had a golfer yesterday, Kevin Hill, and he had this shirt. We'll get to it in just a moment. He's like, I like your show. He's like, I'm gonna start listening to it. He's a big old dude. He's about 6'5", 300 pounds. And there's your shirt. He's like, we're at dinner and he pulled up his Oprah shirt.
How long? Damn.
And we're like, Kevin Hill, if you want to buy a car, buy it from Kevin Hill if you agree. He's in Troy, Missouri. Look him up.
Oh my God.
Hill of a deal.
I would wear that on stage.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
That's his slogan.
Yeah, our drummer would
Hill of
like
a deal. Yeah, exactly. So we were at it, and we appreciate Complete Auto Body Repair for being a big sponsor of the show, a show sponsor for us. We were out there at their golf tournament yesterday. Eric, we were asked about you a few times.
Yeah, right.
No, we were definitely asked where.
No,
you
don't
were.
worry about me. I'll make it somehow.
But anyway.
I'll be all right. Don't worry about me.
We did that.
I cried without you, Eric. It was really hard. Everybody had to give me tissues, and
the Cancel This golf team finished tied for fourth out of
holy crap! What
out of 34 teams that played the South Course? There were 288 golfers on.
Did you guys take a handicap?
It was an alcohol handicap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of alcohol. I think.
How about this?
We took care of. Lizzie handed out at least 70, 80 coupons for Green Light Dispensary, another one of our advertisers, with the $5 coupon. And by the way, if you want to go to Green Light, you get a $5 coupon by just going to our website. You see it right there. Projo is on everything. You get that discount code. You just download that and you get a coupon for money off at Green Light Dispensary.
Here's the handicap we used to have. Everybody got 20 balls and you could mulligan all you wanted. But as soon as you were done with your 20 balls, you were done.
20 is a lot of mulligans, my friend.
Maybe it was 10.
That's a lot of balls.
Maybe it was 10. Can I get a copy of what she just said?
Oh, yes, we're here.
It's too serious. Let's get back to serious.
No, we are. And unfortunately, it is. We're talking about the border situation, how bad it is. We can do that, but we have some other headlines we got to get to because this really pisses me off. And this pisses me off, even though I know local media can't go in there and hit them and come back and get, everything's just fine and get a thumbs up from the bosses. Dr. Anthony Fauci gave the commencement speech at one of the most respected universities in the country for medical. Regardless of the very liberal nature of Washington University and a lot of the practices and principles and procedures and teachings we have seen, it's a remarkable school. You have to be fair, and we try to give every side. It is a remarkable school. People are falling over each other to try to get into that.
What makes it that way?
Because it's such an esteemed institution of great surgeons, doctors. Yeah, that's why.
Okay,
unfortunately. Okay. Because of the way that they've gone so hyper political.
Don't you think you should protect that?
You should.
You would think they would protect it.
Don't you think you need to protect it?
It's a great point.
Yes,
it is.
Protect it.
I'm just being fair to WashU from
an
academic standpoint.
Yep,
it is. It's an amazing school, and it's almost impossible to get in. The problem that you have is the fact that then they take a situation to stand by bringing in that cat, Dr. Fauci, as if he's some sort of hero. And to speak to your graduating class. We've already seen other people be forced to listen to this guy, but you can't come up with somebody less controversial, less proven in the area of what his, quote, expertise was supposed to be. Still not sure if he had any involvement, but a lot of evidence points to his gain of function research. But a lot of people don't want to get into the information. And then on top of it all, this guy came in yesterday and basically said, yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. You can't listen to them. You can't let them interfere with your practice. And WashU was proud to have this guy here.
You interfered with people's practices. If you went to a physician's office and you asked, is this COVID thing, do I need the vaccine or whatever it was? They had to look over their shoulder before they told their clientele, maybe you don't need it.
Yeah, the cupcake is something that...
So they are the conspiracy theorists.
Well, here's what he said. He was asked, he first discussed the current state of COVID. Did you know that there's a current COVID crisis going on? He said, quote, bottom line, short answer is, it's not over in the sense of totally behind us. So he says that COVID's still here, but the emergency nature of it is certainly behind us. So he says we're not dealing with anything, but he still, it's here. It's still here.
You know what's so weird, guys, is this is just, I'm not a physician, but from my research that I've done, the cupcake, it did nothing for your immunity. It did nothing. The best thing that you could have done for yourself is never get it until you die. Number one.
Best.
Number two, get it. And so your body sees this as not a nouveau thing anymore, a new thing anymore. And it now knows how to deal with it. No matter what incarnation of it is, it knows you're not going to die from this. You might be sick for a couple of days, but now it has just introduced something that your body knows. That's the biggest farce of this whole thing. You stick that needle in your arm. It was basically paying Moderna or Pfizer. And that was it. Yes. I know so many people that got cupcaked to the hilt 4 or 5 times, and they still got it, and they still got sick, and they still had to go through same things that everybody else did. And the only protection was for your psychology.
And that's the real crisis that Fauci was saying.
Been, and there's still no new cupcake, no new version of the cupcake.
No.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
That's what I was waiting for. I always told people, I'm not going to get the first version. I'm waiting for the second version because, it'll be more researched and it'll be better. I'm not going to just jump right in. There was no second version.
Well, how about this guy?
And the thing about it is when I'm in a band, and one of the things about being in a band is you're around a lot of people. And our singer, and I don't know, this isn't good or bad or whatever, it's just a reflection of what happened. Back in 19, in that March or whatever it was, the first thing he said to me, he goes, I'm looking forward to getting this thing and getting it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you nuts? I was like wearing rubber gloves, and I was like in, remember that? Yeah. I was like, I wouldn't go to the gas station without using a hazmat suit and whatever. And this guy goes, I just want to get it and get it out of the way. He was damn right. He got it like the first, I think he was working at this company. Within 3 weeks, he got it. He never got it again.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it is kind of playing Russian roulette with the disease because it did kill a lot of people, and that's not good.
But don't you think a lot of people got killed, not necessarily
I don't know.
from it, but
the death thing is I don't have any idea about.
Well, the thing that really frustrated me with Fauci yesterday is the fact that when he was asked about advice that he has for med school grads, this is what he chose to say. Out of all the things this alleged esteemed doctor who Time Man of the Year could have said, and all of his experience, he chose this quote, that they should not sit back and accept the normalization of untruths. It's their responsibility to push back on the normalization of untruths. Really? What does that mean, Doc? He says, quote, when I was in the White House and Trump was saying the virus was going to go away like magic tomorrow, we knew it wasn't. Was that because you worked in gain of function? I did not take any great pleasure in contradicting the president. I have a profound degree of respect for the office, but I had to speak up when they were saying that, quote, hydroxychloroquine works like magic. The I word works like magic, and the virus is going to disappear. I had to say, no, that's not true.
Yeah. And you got to be careful a little bit because our good friend Scotty Gherkin, he got it and he got nailed. And we were like, is he all right? And we just never knew. And then he came out of it and he came back out of it and he's still coming back out of it to a certain extent. So it's a disease and your body has to deal with it a certain way. And the great takeaway was that the people who were on the right, the people who didn't destroy their lives over it, it seems to me, and that's just my opinion, my little essay, they were the ones that were doing it right, that the masks didn't really do anything. Study after study after study, it's not doing anything. The whole thing with the left, everything they did was for psychological and for political betterment, correct?
Yeah.
If you saw someone with a mask, they really believed in it. If you saw someone that was vaccinated 5 times, they were brainwashed a little bit by it. And I get it. If I would have seen evidence that this thing protect the hell out of you, I would have literally a canister full of these vaccines and just vaccinating everyone I could get my hand on.
And we've already heard about the cupcake is this. And it's interesting because right before she just quit, we had Rachel Wadlinski from the CDC who just quit after being on Capitol Hill and saying, well, the information I had at the time was incorrect. When she was asked, is it true or untrue that the cupcake did not protect individuals and did not keep them from spreading the disease? And she said, well, it did not. It was false what we said because of the information I had at the time. That was all predicated upon the research of one Dr. Fauci, who brought that information forward and pushed that narrative so much so that people lost their jobs, were kicked out of school, schools canceled. This man still being put up on a pedestal. And then when he was asked, well, what do you feel is at the root of all the vitriol that's out there for you? He said, quote, profound divisiveness, conspiracy theories, and mischaracterizations of the science.
Mm-hmm.
That is not helpful when you're dealing with a public health crisis. I don't demonize the people who demonize me. I always look to see if there is something there, some message that they have for me that I could actually learn from.
Wrong.
Yeah, there was plenty, and you didn't.
Wrong answer.
You didn't. And the reason we're talking about this is because this cat was at WashU as a commencement speaker yesterday and still talking about the same message that he always had.
What was the reception?
Not saying that he was wrong. Oh, it was great.
Was it great?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
We got Dr. Fauci here.
Mm-hmm.
He's so marvelous.
Yeah.
Time Man of the Year.
And that just shows you where WashU is going now. And that's very sad.
Well, it's where they've always been.
Yes, it just wasn't as noticeable, I guess. Because Fauci, the real crisis for him is not our health. The crisis is people are on to him, and he wants everybody to think COVID is still whatever that Covina was, wants to scare us some more so that we go and take the thing in our arm again.
Yeah, and I think that everybody on this planet, and we're not living in a normal world. At some point, we jumped through some portal. I don't know what happened. I don't even know when it was, but we went through a crazy portal. And at some point, I think with the normal people just want to hear Fauci. This is what we would love to have heard from the cat. I don't know where this came from. However, there is a lab called the Wuhan lab that they were doing gain of function. There is a 50-50 shot that it came from there. We're researching. There's a 50-50 shot it came from some wet market. I don't know. I will try to get to the bottom of this. And if he would have looked like a warrior going to war for us and saying, I'm going to find out, he would be a hero.
But he knew where it came from.
But exactly. But if he did it in public, if he said, Mr. President, I don't know where this came from. This might have been a gain of function project that is going through the World Health Organization. Well, he would have been a hero.
Well, the problem that we have with this whole situation is this. We know that we're not doctors, and we know that allegedly he was. But time shows all things, including truth. And the problem that you have with Dr. Fauci is the fact of this. He was right about zero, literally zero. And as we know now, with all of the research, the best that any cupcake could do for people was give you some relief from symptoms. And not everybody, some pop, it did save some people. There's no doubt about that. It did save some people. But we also know it didn't save others. And we know that what it was hyped up and trumped up to be, and we're just reporting the facts of what was said. We're not giving our opinion. We're talking about the truth because this comes from the CDC, that it didn't work like they said it would work.
No.
Yet people lost their jobs, they lost their health, they lost school, they lost time. And now we're supposed to sit and think that this guy is somebody that should be respected. No, that's not how the world works. It's not. There's no truth to back what he did. I'm still waiting for somebody to show us some science on the masking work, because there's we
brought the evidence.
Not one study.
Yes, there was.
Controlled study has been done that shows 100%.
Yes, there was, and it was done on our old show.
It was done. Well, it was done the opposite.
And we had. Come on, I'm going to say it again. We had one of the engineers from 3M N95 masks. Remember those, Lizzie?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I do.
And we asked him point blank. We said, does an N95 mask work? He goes, all right, here's how it works. If you put caulk and seal around the nose and your face and you don't have a beard, it might cut down on 80% of the virus. However, remember this, the virus is smaller than an oxygen molecule. So if you can breathe in an oxygen molecule, you can bring in the virus.
Yes.
Then we asked him, we go, well, what about a surgical mask? He laughed. And he goes, here's how a mask works with the virus and anything coming through it. Take a tennis racket. Okay. Go to the beach. Yes. Try to stop any of the sand coming through the tennis racket. He goes, do you think you can, is that going to pose much protection for you? And we all looked around the room and we went, not really. He goes, good luck with that. Talk to you later. That was our scientific, and 3M has done all the scientific research on everything. Not to mention, a mask is supposed to keep spit out of a surgical wound as you're doing surgery on him. That's it.
Well, we know that Fauci has retired. So now he doesn't answer to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He just does these victory tours and gets asked questions by liberal media that refuse to give all the questions. There's so many more questions that should be asked that are not being asked, because he will not put himself in a situation to ask those questions. Eric, you always complained about local media, even though less and less people are watching it, needing to ask the questions. And maybe people would watch it more if there were people who were actually asking the questions that you think should be asked. You got to be willing to ask one of those questions or not. You've got to be willing to do that. Now, maybe they were told you can't ask a question about said issue or you're going to be removed from the audience. It could have happened, but nothing serious. It's just like, here's a platform. Just go ahead and say whatever you want to say because you're Dr. Fauci. And, we know that you made a lot of mistakes and things that you said were wrong.
Yeah.
National media won't go back and show the scorecard, but, it doesn't matter. You're here with us today and we're supposed to think that you're great.
Yeah, I think this is one of those issues where you're not going to change a lot of minds. Unfortunately,
at this point in time,
I have a good. I know someone that I have a good barometer of how the messaging is going, and this is one of those ones that just doesn't move the needle. It's like they literally are completely afraid. They think that the government is there to help them. They think that the medical community is playing it straight up, right?
Yes,
they're not. So people that are in the red camp. The Republican camp, the Kid Rock camp, they know it was a farce. They get it. They want to live their life. The blue camp is much more amenable to saying, is it mask time again? Do we put our mask on again? Do you think it's I got a new designer mask. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Where do I get my next shot? They're ready for it. So this thing that we're talking about today, it's not moving the needle one way or another.
I still have a friend who is more conservative than liberal, barely, but he's still making sure he got his latest shot 3 weeks ago. And he's just like, I started it, so I'm just going to continue with it.
Yeah. And I did talk to
He's like, I had COVID he's like, I had it twice. It was so bad.
He wants it to finish the job.
Right. Wow. That's good. And that's true.
Sorry.
If you've already had it twice, why are you injecting it in your arm again?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, it's your life. I think I always thought that health in the United States, a free country, was like, we're going to give you the bulletin. This is what we know about COVID. This is what we recommend. You don't have to do this.
The pandemic
You don't have to do this. There's no mandates. As a matter of fact, I think the word mandate in any free country is just the wrong word to ever use. Mandate, you're going to mandate. I'm going to go out to the field and not do any of this.
And it was never against the law.
Yeah. But I think that the word mandate should be taken out of the equation 1,000,000%. And it's just, the thing about it is I keep wondering, was this a test of some sort? Because you have all this other stuff going along at exactly the same time.
Well, it happened before election.
Everything.
And then now you have the border situation going on. And these things just are piggybacking on each other. And
I mean, it was everything just landed, boom, like a meteorite at the same time. COVID.
Make a prediction before the next election. I'd say next year we're going to see something pretty big happen.
You think so?
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't doubt
agree,
that
Joe.
one bit. And the other problem that you have too with the end of
Flag the
Title
tape.
42 is the fact that You also have all these people who have been coming in for a long time and coming in now with whatever medical ailments, with whatever medical situations, not being monitored in any way coming into this country as well. Will it cause another health situation? Is it being used for a future health situation? You just have to keep in mind. This is cancelthisshow.com. We're here all the time, 24/7 on our website. And of course, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I'm Vic Faust. Eric Johnson's here. Lizzie Sparks in today. She's running the chat line and also hosting. Tabitha's out. She's working her other job today. And Projo's here as well. In the midst of all of this craziness that's going on, something else that should piss you off and why you should be talking when you have a chance. Once again, as Eric said, a lot of these issues are red and white, cut right down the middle. But after 4 years of intense research and tons of money, John Durham's 316-page report found that the FBI investigation into Donald Trump, or as I say, against him and his presidency in his 2006 campaign, the Russia collusion hoax, quote, had a lack of analytical rigor. Do you think? Also, quote, it had an overwillingness to rely on information from just everyday people connected to political opponents rather than evidence. Peter Strzok on MSNBC's The Readout said that this should have never even taken place. He says, but look, there is a predictable, sad ending to an investigation that never should have taken place. This is a sad situation all the way around. It was a hoax. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. And now you have an overwhelming amount of evidence that this should have never even happened. It was a lie. And Donald Trump had to deal with it. Now, Donald Trump responded, and here is his quote. We'll show you Donald Trump in regards to all of this happened. Trump said, quote, wow, all caps with an exclamation point. After extensive research, special counsel John Durham concludes the FBI never should have launched the Trump-Russia probe, exclamation point. In other words, the American public was scammed, just as it was being scammed right now by those who don't want to see greatness for America, exclamation point.
Know some Donald?
And America was scammed. They were scammed. They actually, if he's honest, they scammed him too.
Well, he says that he's still being scammed by the things that are going on, and it will continue as long as he is a political candidate for any office.
So this is in some ways worse because I think this is the kind
you started the show off.
I know
you can't trust.
It's in some ways for the FBI, the CIA, and all these intelligence agencies, it would be much better. It would be much better for them if they perp walked everybody that did this out, including the heads of news organizations that allowed their people to not vet these stories better. It would be much better for them, the left, if they said, oh, we were busted, and look at all these guys with their hands behind their back going to jail for doing this. But since it's so ambiguous, such as it's just a report, now both sides have this little piece of the story that they're holding on to. The left is going, oh, there's nothing to see here. See, this is ridiculous. The right is completely incensed, like break up the FBI. We have to have legislation now. Here's the deal. In the coming years, no one can trust the FBI anymore. The FBI they make no bones about the only thing they can do at this point is to have a public apology to Donald J. Trump. This was a leaked story that was not real. It came from the Democratic side of the aisle. They looked partisan. The only thing that Ray can do right now, the FBI director, can come out and say, here's the deal. After this report, we would like to offer an official apology to Donald J. Trump for 4 years of investigation, for rabbit holes that we went down, for misleading the public. And this apology needs to be way better than I can say it. And they need to say, we are sorry. If that doesn't happen, oh my God.
It's not going to happen.
If that doesn't happen, the United States Congress, Senate, House of Representatives, and eventually in a Republican president, they will shut this thing down.
You know who deserves the apology, Eric? It's the American people.
No, it's Trump. It's not the American people. It's
Trump. You said Trump.
Yeah.
I say the American people for being caught up and being forced and having this forced down their throats, forced down their heads for all these years with no evidence. And it was all because they were pissed off because you had a guy that wanted to fight for America First policies, who was stopping the corruption behind the scenes, who said, they're not coming for me, they're coming for you. I'm just standing in the way.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, so after the Trump apology, then they have a big barbecue right in the middle of some city. And they say, guys, we apologize to you as well. We looked partisan. We get it. This is America. This is not Russia. This is not Venezuela. This is bad. Everybody has been fired. You guys, we invite you to take a look at our, to investigate us. But please do not rip us apart. The FBI is a good institution. We will never look at the American people. We will never spy on the American people. We understand that's what they have to do. Will it happen? Hell no.
No, they won't do it. But an apology should have been given.
Yeah. It needs to be an apology. Oh, Jake Tapper almost apologized. Did you see that?
Almost.
He almost said this vindicates Trump.
When did he say this?
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because last week after Trump did his CNN town hall, he was practically crying in the post show about this man caused all these problems and CNN gave him an audience and the audience was clapping for him. Right. I mean, Jake Tapper,
I get it. You
was
hate Trump.
Losing his mind with Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
And
but if you're legit,
like, well, this happened once, and if you don't think it could happen, it can happen again. It's happening before our eyes. There are people who will elect this kind of man. I mean, they're
I'm just saying, your industry. I don't know what year you graduated from journalism school, but your colleagues are idiots, because back in the day, no matter what side of the aisle they were on, left, right, center, whatever it was, they really prided themselves in sourcing out every damn thing they said. They wouldn't say anything unless it was sourced out 3 different ways.
And they knew it was true.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why I bug Tabitha. I go, I want to believe what you're saying, but where did you get your information from? It doesn't really matter, does it? It's the truth.
I do background.
Yes, it does matter.
Because we do research. We do lots of research.
Yeah, but at least
Tab's up all hours of the night doing research.
I understand that. But these are people coming into CNN, coming into MSNBC, coming into Fox for that matter. Fox was 50-50 on this whole thing. They would report the stories that were being leaked out of the FBI. Remember that? They would do it. They would have John Brennan on. They would have the FBI. What's his name? Comey or Comer? What's the old FBI director's name? I can't remember his name.
Oh,
someone will tell me.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had all
James
of the
Comey.
Yeah, they had all the left wingers on there, and they said, well, "Answer some questions for us." Now, when you go back in retro, look at those interviews, they're lying through their teeth.
Yeah, pretty much.
They knew Obama and Hillary were doing this, and they still let it go.
Yeah, pretty much.
They did.
Imagine that.
They certainly did.
And you know what? 50% of the country doesn't care.
Right. That is the tragedy right there. For sure.
So just remember, once again, the Russia hoax, it was called that, labeled that for a reason. It was all a hoax. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. Were some people arrested and put in jail during the research and the findings and studies? Yeah, a couple Trump associates were. They got time. But guess what? It had nothing to do with a Russian hoax. Donald Trump did nothing wrong. He did nothing illegal. Were there people at one point in time that were associated with him that did do something wrong? Yes, but it had nothing to do with anything of a campaign, a Russia hoax, meddling in an election. But the media, that national media, will dirty the waters and not tell you the exact truths. They will omit certain information and try to make the average American, who, by the way, is not so educated when it comes to media and what's actually being thrown at them, because they're like, oh, we trust everything. Life is good here. Why should I all of a sudden not start trusting? It's always been this way. Life's always going to be great.
Yeah.
And then boom, you get hit with it.
Yeah.
The media did not tell you the truth. So don't let people and Democrats say, well, there were people who were arrested. No, not for anything that this whole, quote, investigation was about.
And they did it to a T. My God, this is whatever operation this was. These guys knocked it out of the park. They did. This is kind of like we are watching Scooby-Doo with the Brennan report right now. Durham report, excuse me. They ripped the mask off and we saw who these morons were.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, the only difference is now that the mask is off, they're more defiant today than they were back in the day. Like, oh, big nothing burger. Let's move on. Back to illegal immigration. Who wants the first billion people?
And guess who that's on?
It's on the media.
It's on the American people.
It's on the media.
For letting them get away with it.
No, it's on the media. Joe Scarborough came out and completely, this morning, was completely like, nothing to see here. This is stupid. We just wasted $4 million.
Yeah.
And there's liberals that believe that. They don't understand the consequences of what just went on. Because one day, if maybe the Republicans are lucky enough to own everything again, it could turn around on them.
You're right.
You could have a Paul Schiff in front of a judge. You could have Nancy Pelosi in front of judges for insider trading. You could have all kinds of stuff going on against you because you got the DOJ in your back pocket.
But now
But that's not the way it's supposed to be.
No, it's not. But you also have an issue right now where the FBI and the DOJ have now pulled all of their agents that were investigating Hunter Biden. And
unbelievable.
Anything, this, just when you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. Pulling their agents from investigating the Biden crime family, the alleged family ties. And the great thing about the House Oversight Committee led by James Comer right now is the fact that they brought hardcore evidence. We saw it 2 weeks ago. They brought the evidence forward.
Yep.
And they were able to do a lot of this because of a, quote, whistleblower. They had an information source that was working. And guess what happened? All of a sudden, one of their main advocates for learning the truth about it and the financial things that were going on tying Hunter Biden and the big man Joe Biden to these other countries and payments to the family has now disappeared. They can't find the witness.
You got to be kidding me.
So
they didn't find him yet?
No, not as of 8 a.m. and the last part that I did the research.
They suicided this guy?
We don't know what's happened. A
But
guy or
you can
gal.
Assume that. You can assume that.
Male or female. And then Comer's quote was, quote, 9 of the 10 people that we've identified that have a very good knowledge with respect to the Bidens because of this crime situation, one of 3 things has happened with them. They're either currently in court, they're currently in jail, or for one, they're currently missing. So it's of the utmost importance that the FBI work with us, not stop working as they're doing now, to be able to try to identify what research they've done, what investigations they've actually done. Because we have people that want to come forward, but honestly, they now fear for their lives.
That's why I almost feel like artificial intelligence should be running all of this stuff. An unbiased, which it'll never happen. Trust me.
It's a great
trust
idea.
Trust me when I tell you, I know what I'm saying is the dumbest thing you guys have ever heard. I get it. But if there was a way to have a computer that was not biased, that wasn't taught biases, there's no way that the only thing you could do is you got to trust the AI computer because it comes out and it does, because we cannot trust human beings anymore.
It runs off of logic, period.
Well, the logic
as long as there's no influence to let it,
there's
go
influence.
one way or the
There's
other.
influence,
as long
so
as
that's
it's completely logic.
There is logic, and it's unfortunate. Even ChatGPT the other day, I said, write me a debate as if you were a moderator for 2 presidential candidates using topics that are important today. And every topic it came up with was liberal. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Right.
So it would be an impossible task. You couldn't do it. But the only thing is to trust the DOJ anymore. It would have to be a computer system of some sort.
Well, I never thought that the DOJ, and I know it was certainly possible, the FBI would pull agents out, that the lead witness would go missing in a massive international case where witnesses just don't disappear. They don't. Not when they're this high profile. I can't remember something like this happening in the United States. This kind of crap happened all the time in communist countries, in dictatorships, not in the United States. because Tabitha's like, I don't even know why we're talking about it because nothing.
I know, that's why I'm saying the show is like silky smooth today.
And Tabitha was 100% right. And I said, and I was wrong because I really believed that somehow, some way they were tying it. And even if it was after Biden was removed, they would tie it because there's too much evidence. This is more evidence than any president that we've seen do it. I mean, go back to Nixon and the tape.
Yeah.
This is, and then the witness disappears.
And
it's Epstein-like.
But I think this goes way back. These things have been happening for years and years and years and years. But people weren't paying attention back with JFK Jr.
No, not in my era.
They weren't paying attention. My grandma really believed he died in a plane accident. Well, he did die in a plane accident, but who was he going to be running against? It always comes back to that.
It does.
Or who is he going to be running with, Donald Trump?
Right.
Well, the way he died is pretty typical. He doesn't know how to fly in clouds. So
I know that's true. It is.
I've tried flying in clouds and it's not fun.
It is. It's fair. It's a fair point to bring up.
It is fair.
But where this goes from now, I don't know. I don't know where the House Oversight Committee goes when I read you that quote to figure out where they're going now. Are they going to continue to even talk about it? Are they going to bring up more information? Because the final thing that he said about the whole situation was, they don't give a rip. They just basically sent a flippant return to us about our inquiries into this whole mess. This is Comer talking about the FBI when they're asking the FBI for help. And it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. The FBI is refusing to work with the DOJ. With the House Oversight Committee. And that should show you what's going on.
Yeah. So to answer Gordon's question, he says, so now Hillary and Obama have lost all credibility with everything, but it will be shoved under the rug. And he's right about that.
Right on.
But here's the deal.
Because of national
Here's
media.
the deal with that. It doesn't matter. Remember I said earlier there was 85 million people that voted for Biden, which that's
a lie.
Anyway. So if you're a Patriots fan, right? And you find out that your boy deflates footballs. If you find out that your boy Brady deflates footballs and he wins game after game after game, do you want him to stop deflating footballs, or would you like him to do it a little bit more secretive next time?
Yeah, just sneak with the ball.
Right? If I'm a Packers fan and I'm playing these guys to get into the Super Bowl, I guess they would be in the Super Bowl at that point, wouldn't they? Then you want Brady to sneak into a little bathroom somewhere and deflate him just enough.
That's right.
So liberals basically are rooting for the Patriots right now. And they are hoping that the Bidens deflate some balls going into the presidential election, right?
Okay, there you go.
That's a good analogy.
And they don't care about it, is what I'm saying. It's not like they're looking at the Bidens going, oh, how dare you cheat the system like this? No, they're going, let's do it a little bit more inconspicuous, guys. You're getting caught too many times. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Whereas the Republicans are trying to win the game straight up.
Well, how about this for you, Eric? Talking about scores, talking about numbers. On Friday night, Newsmax, conservative Newsmax, a little guy just trying to make it, trying to beat the big boys, actually beat CNN for the first time in key primetime ratings. Newsmax. Now, according to Nielsen,
stop it.
According to Nielsen ratings, Newsmax live coverage of former President Trump's Pennsylvania rally, which he had Friday night, pushed the network ahead of CNN in audience viewership. This is big.
Wow. Yeah, that is big news.
Newsmax pulled in 738,000 total viewers between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern time Friday night. They had an average of 579,000 viewers. Of course, that's because of Donald Trump.
That's damn good for them, man.
Hell yeah, it is. Now it's because of Donald Trump. And Newsmax, also OAN, have been very favorable towards Donald Trump the whole time. So CNN peaked with Mr. Anderson Cooper at 645,000 viewers, but their average audience was 545,000 on Friday night compared to the 579,000.
How about that?
For Newsmax.
We talk about trends on this show all the time. That's a trend.
And here's the other part of the full story. When you get the story behind the story, this is why I love numbers and why ratings are so important when you can give them. The Nielsen numbers Also, don't tell people that Newsmax is also carried in 20 million less homes.
Unbelievable.
20 million less homes than CNN, and they still freaking beat the shit out of CNN in that Friday night rating. Anderson Cooper just got beat by whoever the hell was on Newsmax Friday night.
Unbelievable.
That's right.
You know what? Why doesn't Newsmax book a town hall for Trump?
They should. That's the only reason why CNN did it.
The reason I say that is because this guy he's not as exposed on Twitter as he was back in 2020. So why doesn't he say, my new way of talking to the people is number one, rallies, number two, Newsmax, Fox, if you'll give it to me, and whatever these other outlets are, AON or OAN or whoever it is, OAN would be another one. I will come on and we will do, I don't want to debate you, but you can ask me, questions, and I will allow the people who are in the audience to ask me questions as well. And that is the new way of, I think, but you would have to offer it to DeSantis, and you would have to offer this to Nikki Haley, and maybe we go through the next year of AON, Newsmax, News Nation, maybe Fox, probably not CNN again because they got their heads cut off. But the way that we hear from these candidates and get to know them and love them or hate them or whatever is by the town halls.
Yeah, they are. The town halls are great, but I doubt we'll see Donald Trump on a CNN town hall again because keep in mind.
I bet he would.
Well,
I bet he would.
He would.
Oh, round two, Apollo Creed versus Rocky. Come on.
No, here's why. Yeah, Eric, here's why I say what I say. And that's only because CNN gave Trump this platform.
Yes.
And he embarrassed all liberals and all liberal media. And it was a great thing for him. And then a few nights
later,
a
great thing for CNN too.
Yeah, it could have been. But then a few nights later, when Trump has his rally, who wins? Not CNN. It's Newsmax.
But CNN...
Newsmax beating the network that Trump was just on a few nights previous.
That tells you
to
a
me,
lot
I'm
about
like,
what people still think about
CNN's
Trump.
like, yeah, that didn't really give us a continued bump.
Right.
But you have to continue the bump is the point. You have to continue it. You have a CEO in there that is trying to make money for your asses. And the people who are on air, it would be like it being in a band. Here's another analogy for you, right? I'm in a band. The band used to make a fortune. Let's go with Foghat. Foghat used to make a lot of money. Fool for the City, whatever other songs they used to make a lot of money. And then one day, people just stopped liking them. And they stopped having the same people. It was because the people didn't resonate with the crowd anymore. CNN is the Foghat. People used to like him. Used to be in airports all over the world. But people don't like you no more. So you got to break up the band, write new music, and come back bigger and better than ever. Like Steve Majors, the Bionic Man. He got in a crash. He wasn't as good as he was. They took him into surgery, ripped him apart, made him a bionic person, and now he can run 70 miles an hour. That's what CNN has to do. They gotta stop pussyfooting around with the people on that show or on all the day parts over there and say, we're done. We're coming back as a news organization. Who
are you talking about?
CNN. I'm talking about CNN.
What?
CNN has to rip that station apart.
Yeah, I know that's not happening.
No, they have to do that. Listen,
I agree.
You're not hearing me. You're not listening with your ears. Listen with your ears. I'm the CEO over there.
Listen with your ear.
You know how frustrating it is whenever they rip a highway apart because they want to make it better. You can't go down the highway anymore. They're going to have to do that for a few months. They're going to have to get rid of all the clowns over there and bring on people like maybe Roseanne Barr.
Oh my God.
Maybe a Roseanne Barr morning show.
I love your creativity.
Maybe a Roseanne Barr morning show. Why not?
She's already money? She's already booked on Fox.
Who knew that? I had no idea about that.
We talked about this.
Was I here?
Yes.
In spirit only, probably.
No, you were here.
I'm just saying, I want to help
The View.
I so want to help CNN. I do.
And why do you want to help?
I want to know why. Because he wants your James Earl Jones voice again.
Because when back in the 90s, I guess, I found this little quirky station by Turner Broadcasting put this thing together, CNN, right? And I was fascinated that I could sit on a couch with Emo's Pizza all day long and the news never stopped. I was like, this is crazy. I'm getting all this news. I love it. This is amazing. And they were good back then. The most trusted name in news. Remember that?
Yes. And I
have an affinity for those guys. I do.
Because you're still living, which I wish we all could, knowing how great the 80s and the very early 90s were, or so we thought.
But they felt like they were playing it straight up back in the day.
Right.
They were playing it more so straight up then.
Now it's time. You know what you have to do for CNN? You have to move CNN to Des Moines, Iowa. CNN headquarters needs to go to the middle of the country.
Your actual show in the section is what should
I'm
be.
telling you guys, I can fix this joint.
What should be.
I can fix this joint. Give me the keys. I'll drive.
Should be with Eric Johnson. What needs to be.
How cool would it be if you could?
How it could be.
How cool would it be if you could bring on CNN? And if you ever had a liberal person on your panel, the new rule is you have to have a conservative person. You can never bring on CNN
Gordon
ever
says
again.
CNN needs to reap what they sow.
And they are.
Now
They are. We just talked about it. They're getting beat by Newsmax. I mean, my God, it's like that's like a high school. It's like a high school TV station is beating CNN. It's like Francis Howe beating Mizzou, which wouldn't be that hard.
It's the message, and it was Donald Trump. That's why. And
I'm passionate about this.
And people are getting tired.
I'm a fixer.
You are.
You are a fixer.
The fixer.
I'm a fixer.
Eric,
if people would just let you fix it,
not a
we'd all be in
fluffer,
good shape.
a fixer.
You have to first know what the problem is before you can fix the problem.
Well, hell yeah.
And you got to sit there with a notepad and just look at him.
And everybody
bleed
has
out.
to be on the same page, Eric. But that's not happening over there. But it's fun to talk.
You need to move CNN to Lincoln, Nebraska. Make a badass studio over there in Lincoln, Nebraska. You have to have 2 cow farmers on in the morning. Good Morning Cow Farmer America, or whatever you want to call it. I'm serious. You have to have a conservative show. You have to have a liberal show. Or maybe you don't have any shows like that anymore. Maybe you're like, we're done with editorializing. Give me a phone number. I'll call someone.
Yeah, that would work. This is cancelthisshow.com. By the way, we love to have, you're making Projo laugh too, by the way.
Projo, what's so funny? You don't think I got it in me?
Well, because
No, I'm just thinking of different names for this, like the morning show, Dairy Today.
Dairy Today.
Yes, yes.
The Dairy Report by Projo.
Matthew thinks that you could be Eric the Fixer now joining Bob the Builder. That would be a good show.
Who wouldn't watch that?
Oh, I would.
Who wouldn't
for
watch
sure.
that?
Everybody would.
Call truth to power. And you know what? Here's the other thing. You don't have to go after the liberals. You don't have to go after the Republicans. You go, we're here to report.
Yes, 100%.
Here's the deal. I'm going to play this straight up. Today in news, the Durham report came out. We'll read it to you. Here it is. We won't editorialize that. We'll let you editorialize it for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, what's the ramifications of the FBI not being trustworthy anymore? I don't know. We'll leave it to you. Now here's our sponsor.
Well,
Pepsi.
Eric, before we end our podcast today, I do have some other good news for you.
Go ahead.
I know you're all excited about this.
He's going to love it.
At 81 years of age.
No, I'm not that old.
At 81 years of age, Martha Stewart will grace the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Month.
Good for her.
I love it.
Good for her, man.
I think I haven't seen it.
Good for her. With Snoop Dogg in the back fluffing her.
No way she's wearing a bikini. No way.
Why?
Maybe not a bikini, maybe a one piece.
Oh, it'll be
classy.
Classy.
Yeah,
that's the word.
A little like
so fringe
frill over there.
Yeah. Maybe a little icing on her.
Right.
But hey, it's good for her. 81, good. Go do it. Do what you can.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Good for
Health
her.
is a great thing. But it also goes to show how far Sports Illustrated, I think, has fallen that they have to go to, quote, height issues.
Well, does anyone read magazines anymore? Illegitimate.
I wondered that. I was sitting in Walgreens the other day and saw all these magazines and no one's picking them up. So why do they even make them? I mean, nobody buys them anymore.
You have to. I mean, you're investors, and that's what your business is, right?
Well, I guess so.
You better
I guess
start selling
somebody's
some of
buying them.
You know, your
doctor's offices, they got to have something in the waiting room.
Good
Yeah,
point.
but
That's a good point.
But I still see most people using phones. If you go, seriously, go to a doctor's office, go somewhere. If you're sitting there, most people have their heads down.
Right.
We're looking at our phones. I mean, that's basically what we're doing right now. And we're doing it well. Okay. What a great show today, guys. We appreciate it. Cancelthisshow.com. Continue to give us story ideas. Let us know about some things that are going on. I had to say this really quick. One of the guys yesterday, I think it's with AMP Restoration. When they found out what we did, they said, hey, you got to give a shout out. The guy, there was a punter with the Buffalo Bills last year that was accused of sexual assault with a female. Long story short, he got cut because of just the accusation. So he didn't make the team. He was awesome. Well, so he got cut, didn't get to play in the NFL last year. And then it came out a few days ago, last week, because it was at the end of last week, that she pulled it back and it was a made up story. And this guy got, quote, canceled. And I don't know if this guy knew him or he kicked at his school, but he's like, if that's what cancel this is about, you need to at least put that out there, because this guy got no justice and the NFL canned him over an alleged report that turned out to be not so true.
He wasn't even at the party. He was accused of doing that.
So what's the outcome? Is he going to get a play? Is he going to get a look?
I don't know. We'll see now. We'll see now. Maybe there'll be a shot for him next year. But AMP Restoration, they're in the Chesterfield Valley in the St. Louis area. He saw us at the golf tournament, wanted me to say that. I forgot about that. So I wanted to make sure I got that in before.
I'm not going to be so angry tomorrow.
Actually, please do.
No, what?
Well, because everyone on the chat line is saying, Eric, you killed it.
No,
Eric, you were on fire.
I don't want to kill it.
But we need you to do that.
I want some normal damn world to live in again.
Okay, but get
remember
real.
that, bro?
We don't live in a real world. And when you talk about not living in the real world, you bring it, dude. You bring it.
Well, I don't mean
everybody wants that tomorrow.
Eric Johnson.
Bring it tomorrow.
Lizzie
you bring
Sparks.
it. You bring it, Vic.
Pro Joe.
Yeah, Vic, Vic did bring
Faust.
it.
Get mad.
Tabitha Hassel was off. She'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. As Bendy says, Eric, it's passion.
No, it's not passion. It's literally
it's
adrenaline and pissed offness.
Lisa says
I don't
we
want
need
to be
Eric's
pissed off
voice.
anymore. I don't want to be pissed off anymore.
We won't get a nice world until we get to heaven.
Well,
so
Joe will piss you off.
that's coming.
I'm gonna call Biden today and
please do
and hash some stuff out.
Good.
Tomorrow, Eric's first segment, the call with Biden.
Hey, dude, what's up? Who is this? It's Joe. No, I'm Joe.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Cancel this. Like, subscribe, share the show. And if you know of good advertisers or people that want to be a part of the show, let us know too. Have a great day.